Welcome back everyone to our gameplay of Farmer's Dynasty. So now we are on our way back over to this field to do a little bit of cultivating. So I've hooked up the equipment. Now we're going to see if we can find a way across without going through the water. I can't imagine that going through the water would be very good for our equipment or the tractor for that matter. Alright, so once again we're dealing with a fairly small field. Thankfully, because I believe it really fits in well with the design of the game and really the whole point of the game. Let's go ahead and lower the cultivator and let's see. We've got a little bit bigger working width on this tool as opposed to the plow, which is generally going to be the case since the plow has to do a lot more work and requires a lot more power to do its job. Alright, let's go ahead and lift. I have determined that we really need to get rid of this tractor as soon as possible. This thing is driving me crazy. It seems like you can never get it to stop. It always wants to continue going forward or reverse, whichever way you happen to be going at the time. It never ever wants to stop, which makes it very hard to hitch the tools onto it. I am really liking the fact that we're actually making marks with the tires, so that's good. There's some good and some bad that I have determined so far about this game, but overall there's a lot of good to outweigh the bad for me. We are making relatively quick work here. I've made some changes to the options in the game. I've talked a lot about so far the effect that the camera is having on me. A lot of, you know, either dizziness or disorientation or something coming from this game, and so I've turned off head movement and I have decreased the sensitivity of the controller even more, so that means the mouse should be even less sensitive, and hopefully we can continue to make some inroads into what's making me disoriented on a regular basis in this game. But yeah, you can listen to this tractor and tell we definitely need to get some sort of an upgrade, some sort of a modern tractor. I do like, however, that we started with this tractor. I love the way this game starts you out. I mean, you're in rented equipment or borrowed equipment, or in some cases they just give it to you because it's not really worth anything anymore. At least not to them. So I do really like that. It's just that, you know, there's enough farming simulator in me to want to get some new equipment. Let's get some bigger, badder stuff that we can work with. I want to know about hiring workers. I want to get started in the greenhouse. I mean, there's so many different things that I want to do in this game. And one of the things I want to do in today's video is, as soon as we get done with this cultivating, and I'll cut away here in a moment and finish up the remainder of it before we come back. But one of the things I want to do is take a look at the map. There are so many places to visit, so many people to meet that could potentially give us jobs, and who knows what we might get as rewards from those jobs. One thing we do know of is that we're going to be getting social points, which are going to be very valuable as this game continues on. But beyond that, we have very little money at all right now. And that's going to end up being a problem when we want to start purchasing stuff, because I don't want to use all of our social points in order to purchase new equipment. But I am willing to use some of them because I feel like at some point in the future, those social points are going to be needed when we're interacting and we need things from the other folks in town. So I'd like to keep as much of the social points around as I possibly can. Alright, this field work is actually going quite quickly. We might not need to cut away. I'm having a very hard time keeping this tractor straight, and that's simply because of the way the wheels are digging into the ground. So I am very much enjoying that. And so far, it doesn't look like we've missed any significant portions of the field. I could be wrong. Oh, look at this. Okay, well, can't get it stopped. Alright, so we got to back up. I was not even trying to move the tractor while it was doing all of that. So let's try that again. Yeah, I cannot get this thing to stop, and right now I'm having a hard time keeping it from drifting left or right. So this is making for a very different experience from Farming Sim, and one that I am quite enjoying. Still taking some getting used to, but I am very much enjoying it. Now at this point, as we are finishing up on the cultivating, I think this was the end of the job she had for us. Unfortunately, due to my work schedule, this is not a game that I can play on an everyday basis or spend a lot of time in, so I'm having some trouble remembering exactly what she wanted us to do with this field. Did she want us to stop after cultivating, or did she want us to continue on through the planting process? Part of me really wants this job to be over so we can get our rewards and just sort of see how this is going to go. But then another part of me really wants this to continue going because she's already given us one piece of equipment. Who knows, maybe in the future we're going to get some additional pieces of equipment. Alright, let's see if I can get this thing to stop. And you can see the tire sort of digging into the terrain as I got stopped. So yeah, that is a big bonus for me. And yeah, we're making quick work of this thing. The additional working width beyond what the plow had is certainly coming in handy today. A little bit of sand here at the end of the field, looks like. Stop. Look at that. Can't even keep it going straight. This is going to be interesting. You know, what happens when it rains? I certainly don't want to be anywhere near a field whenever it rains because we're having this much trouble just in the dry. I mean, I am trying very hard to keep this thing straight, and it is near impossible. Again, I'm using mouse and keyboard. I, at this point, don't know if the wheel and pedals are actually supported, any wheels and pedals, much less the Logitech G920 that I own. So I have no idea. But look at those, wow, look at those tracks we're creating. So now I've got all these questions because of the differences between the way this field work is going as opposed to the traditional farming sim field work. Is this going to affect the yield? The fact that we are making these tracks in the field, is that going to affect anything? Maybe, maybe not. I could see either way, just depending on how detailed the simulation aspect of this game is. But let's see, it should be our last time down, and so here very quickly I am expecting to receive a message up on the screen, a pop-up to let us know that we have finished the job, even though it doesn't look like we're going to quite get everything to the far edge of the field. Wow, this is impossible to keep this thing straight at this point. We are all over the place, and Clara seems to be really fond of you. That should mean that we're done, right? There we go. Quest updated. Clara's job work is done. So let's go ahead and raise this up. So, well done. You may keep the plow, but you can still talk. Oh, I missed the rest of it. All right, so we received a plow and 500 social points. So not a huge amount of social points based on what we've been getting from some of the upgrades to our farm, some of the fixes, that kind of thing. But overall, this was definitely a job worth doing because we've now got a plow. We got a plow and a cultivator, so we'll have to see where we go from here. Let's go ahead and head back over. We'll just park the tractor on the edge of our fields, one of our fields for now. Let's see. Actually, let's talk to Clara real quick. All right, let's hop off. All right, where did Clara go? Let's try not to behead ourselves on the cultivator. All right, can we talk to Clara?
Can I help you, sweetheart?
I'm kinda green. Can you tell me a bit about fieldwork?
Sure. What do you need to know?
So having these conversations should help, not necessarily gain points with these guys right now, the social points, but it should help us long term in them becoming more friendly, and that should help us to get more jobs from them, which is always a good thing later on. Let's see, what do we want to know? How do we prepare fields? Let's just start
How do I
there.
prepare fields?
Plow the field first, then cultivate it. This will prepare the soil for crops. You can still sow if you don't plow or cultivate, but you won't reap a lot.
Okay, good to know. So we do have that option. What about, look at her. She's like, yeah, bring it on. All the questions you got.
What about seeds?
It's best to buy these in the agro store. You'll get most crops using prepared seeds.
Okay, the agro store. All right, so we're going to have to find that on the map here pretty soon. What about fertilizer?
And fertilizing.
You can buy good fertilizers in the store and spray them on your fields. But if you have animals, use manure to fertilize fields too. You'll get best effects if you combine these fertilizers. You'll have to use different machines for these, of course.
Yeah, and that's going to be a problem for us right now. We just simply don't have the equipment for that. And at some point, I definitely want to get animals, specifically the cows. If you guys have watched any of my Farming Simulator gameplay, you know I love the cows. So we're definitely going to have to get that. But for right now, we don't have the money or the equipment to make that happen. So we've got to find the agro store. We know that. Let's see. How do I gather crops? I would assume.
How do I gather crops?
Use combine to ripe and gather crops.
Okay, so we do
Modern
have
combines
combines.
and new headers are much better.
We'll
They
see what
don't
they mean
use
by
that many
modern
grains.
combines.
Some grains, like wheat, will leave straw that you can gather and sell, or feed to your animals.
All right, anything more?
Anything more I need to know?
Well, I'm not that educated. Try talking to other people if you wish to know more.
All right, you got it.
Thanks. I'll see you around.
Appreciate the information, Clara. All right, so now let's hop back on the tractor and let's see what we can find on our map. Well, let's try not to run over any of her crops. All right, so now that I know that the traffic seems to stop as soon as I come to an intersection, we're not going to worry too much about getting run over by cars at this point. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Accidentally hit the right mouse button instead of the left. And so now I see that we've got a fuel level, 84%. All right, that's good. Because we've done quite a bit of driving around on this thing, back and forth between fields. So that gives me at least some idea for the fuel usage. I'm seeing these apples. I want to pick these apples. So many things I want to do in this game right now that just going to take a while to get to all of it. So let's go ahead and park over here. Drop our tractor off. We don't want to use any more fuel than we absolutely have to out of this thing. All right, we do not want to drive over our existing crops. You can see just ahead there that little bit of a wedge that's taken out. That's because I accidentally drove over in that one area. So yeah, we definitely don't want to do this going forward. All right, let's pull up our map. Agro store, where is, okay, general store, we know about that one. We've already been there. Let's see, looks like a gas station, bus stop. Okay, vehicle store, there's a vehicle store over here. Greenhouse, a place to relax. All right, so we can meet some more people over there and possibly improve our social standing. Let's see, anything else? What is this? A drone time race. Okay, well, we're not going to mess with that right now. Agricultural market. There we go. You can sell goods that you grow, grains and bales. Oh, it doesn't say anything about purchasing, though. Where do we purchase? Another vehicle store. Coffee shop. Again, you can see the social aspects of this game really being very prominent. So we're going to have to find where all of this stuff is. For now, let's go ahead and just move around a little bit. Let's just see what we can find. All right, let's get out of there. And because I want to find some seeds that we can plant here in our greenhouse. We've already got irrigation in place in the greenhouse, so we'll have to see what that means about water. Do we have to purchase water, or is it just sort of going to be an automatic thing? All right, I could really use a mini map right now. If there is any possibility of getting one of those, we need it. All right, so we've already stopped here at the general store, so we're good right there. Let's see what else we've got. Basically, I just want to get to these different farms and see. Wait a minute. This farm over here looks like they need some work done. I see a lot of construction. I see some repairs. Let's head over this way and see what they've got for us. Hopefully something good. There's another one of these humongous birds. Come on, fly away. There you go. Best case scenario for us is that they need our help in doing some... Okay, new quest. Talk to Janet. You notice an old harvester up... Okay, I like this. A harvester that we might be able to get our hands on. Alright, so let's find some people and talk to them. There's a harvester. And I see some greenhouses that need a lot of work. That's the construction I thought I was seeing earlier. Alright, let's hop out and take a look around. Oh, wow. Look at these wonderful... And these doors are beautiful. But the rest of it, not so much. Is this showing repairs? Yes, so we might be able to get a job repairing these things. Let's see. Looks like she's got a nice hen house here. Looks like it is... Well, no, it's mostly done. Needs some repairs, but I was thinking maybe it was already done. Is she in here? No. But again, some of this wood is fantastic. Oh, there we go. Yes, please tell me that you need some repairs.
Hello, mister. I'm Janet. Have we met?
I'm your
Not
neighbor.
yet.
I live just across that lake. Moved in not long ago.
Hey, we just moved in too. Bought this farm and greenhouses to start a tomato business. But it is such a mess. I feel cheated. The greenhouses are a ruin.
I guess I can help you restore these.
We guess we can
You
help?
now? That would be so great. But I don't have much money to pay you.
What about that harvester over there? I think it's worth the effort. I can take it for an exchange.
This sounds great. We have no use for it anyway. We wish to plant tomatoes, don't own any fields.
In
Oh,
this
wow,
case,
they don't have
I'm
any
on
fields,
it.
okay.
I will fix your greenhouses in exchange for that harvester.
What about the barn over there? Can you fix it too? I'll add the header to sweeten the deal.
Deal. Absolutely deal. I'm not sure this is a good deal on her part.
A lot of work, but it's worth it.
All right, so 50 social points just for talking to Janet, but now we need to get busy doing some repairs. Okay. So let's go ahead and bring up our repair tools and we'll get to work. So yeah, this doesn't seem like much of a deal for her because while there certainly need to be repairs, I don't think they're worth a harvester. But we're not going to argue with the lady. She doesn't need the harvester. She's got no fields. And so we are going to be happy to do this work for her. So probably the hardest part of this job will be making sure that we actually get every piece of the greenhouses and barn repaired. It can be very hard sometimes to notice what you've missed, even whenever you're holding down the right mouse button. So she has no fields, and there are certainly fields nearby. So we want to get as good a reputation around town as we possibly can, because obviously in this type of game, this is set up much more like an RPG, and our reputation is going to be huge. And this is going to allow her to get her tomato business up and going. I actually wouldn't mind if we had a tomato business of our own. All right, did we get everything on the outside? We're going to have to get some scaffolding. No, maybe not. Thought we might have to put up some scaffolding to get to that area, but it looks like we might be good to go. Oh, very nice. So a huge amount of repair work done, and we're standing in the same spot. So the game is having some mercy on us. All right, we're going to have to figure out how we're going to get up to that roof, whether it's going to be scaffolding, because the first thing I'm going to try is to hop up on top of these tables. All right, so let's just take a quick glance. Other than the roof, have we gotten everything? It looks like it. All right, let's hop up here. All right, perfect. We're not going to need to lay down any scaffolding. All right, let's make sure we reach everything that we can while we're in this area. So you can see it's not going to take a terribly large amount of time to make this happen. All right, so what I'm going to do now is continue working on the 2 greenhouses and the barn, and I'll bring you guys back shortly thereafter, and we'll see what kind of reward we get for as far as social points for making this happen. All right, we are finishing up repairs on the barn, and it looks like we may not have to repair the other greenhouse. I repaired the first greenhouse, and it told me to move on to the barn, so we'll have to wait and see. Maybe that's a separate quest line that we haven't gotten to yet. And it occurred to me as I'm walking around on this roof that this probably isn't the best way to do this particular job. I mean, we've got all these planks missing. Who knows how much rotted wood we've got, and here I am just sort of walking around on top like it's nobody's business. All right, so now we have a quest updated, fix the hen house. All right, so I didn't even realize we were going to have to do that. So there's the hen house. Can we jump over there? Yes, indeed we can. So let's go ahead and finish the roof while we're here. I don't remember that being part of the deal, but again, this is very little work for a harvester, and a harvester leaves us needing, we need some sort of seeder, a planter of some sort, and then we're going to need fertilizer, and we're going to need a trailer to pick up all of our crops after they're harvested. So we've definitely got some tools we need. I don't know if we're going to be able to get those from the neighbors. I certainly hope so at this point. All right, let's hop down. Let's see, let's get on the inside here before we fix this fence. Just happen to have some chicken wire with us to make these repairs. Keep that in our back pocket. Oh yeah, we're making quick work of this hen house. They should have called us first thing. Alright, what else do we have? Anything over here? Yes, we got, looks like one more fence repair to make there. So there's a Joseph over here somewhere. He's roaming around just on the other side of the greenhouse over there. So we haven't met him yet. At this point, I'm just going to feel safe in assuming that he is the husband here. Even though the game's not really telling us anything. Alright, so don't y'all need a... Never mind. Alright, so everything appears to be done here. Let's head inside, because I'm sure that, yeah, I'm sure we need some hen houses to be repaired. Alright, we should be about done. Well, at least with the hen house. All right, there we go. Fix another greenhouse. Okay, that's kind of what I figured they were going to want me to do, but you just never know. All right, so I'll get started on that. We'll be back momentarily. All right, we're finishing up the last little bit of the greenhouse, at least as far as I can see anyway. A little bit more repair work to be done here on the ceiling. And then we should go and receive our rewards, which I am very excited to get. Let's see, what have we missed? Well, as I'm looking around, there we go. Right back here behind us. All right, this should be the last tile. And there we go. Return to Janet and ask for our reward. We will definitely do that. Let's go ahead and put up our tools. So we repaired the hen house, which looks quite nice if I do say so myself. A wonderful barn. A lot of repairs. Not sure what's going on with the brickwork in some of that. And we need to pick up our scaffolding. But yeah, this stuff looks really good right now. They have a very nice area. Before I forget, let's go ahead and pick up our scaffolding. I'm not sure that this actually matters at all, but we'll go ahead and make everything nice and beautiful before we leave. There's Joseph. We can right click and see that we haven't met him yet, but they do have one small field here that they're working. Certainly not one that they're going to need any heavy machinery
Janet,
for, though.
The job's all done.
That's fantastic. The harvester and header are all yours. I can also sell you the seedlings cheaper, if you wish.
Oh, okay. All right, so Janet seems to be really fond of us. Well, thank you very much. Happy to help. All right, we have earned a harvester and grain header. So what about these seedlings?
Have you finished your task?
Yes. I have.
Have you finished your task?
Okay, apparently not. Okay, so we can't talk to Janet just yet, but these seedlings that she's talking about, I would assume this is for the greenhouse. Oh, wow. We've got a couple of headers here. One for, I would imagine, corn, and then a regular grain harvester. Yeah, this thing needs quite a bit of work. Can we repair this thing at all? It's full of fuel. That was nice of her to fill it up for us. All right, so not bad. It is definitely worth the effort for us to move around the map and just visit any of the areas we see where there might be some farmers around who have some jobs for us, because it is certainly working out to our advantage here in the early game. So with that in mind, that's going to do it for today. Thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned for more Farmers Dynasty.